All right. Welcome to the Two Pints Radio Show. I have a very special guest for you today.
It's Dev Tripper, the big flipper. I'm here to see Nick on Two Pints. You already know what it is.
Oh, man. Dude, last night was a fucking trip. I had way too much to drink. Usually I'm a lightweight with like 2 beers and whatnot, but I had, get this, 4 beers and 10 shots of vodka. So, I woke up with a big headache.
I don't even know if I can handle that much. I'm a light drinker. You give me 2 beers and I'm going to be in the couch puking.
Since it's a tradition on this show to just say what we're drinking, even if it's not alcohol, I'm drinking some Coke.
Shouts out to Sprite. You know, I'm with the Sprite right now. And it ain't dirty yet, but, you know, I might get a little wild later.
So, I guess my first question is, what got you into this? Like, when did you actually start making music?
Man, with the hip-hop stuff, like, when I was born, you know, and like as my mom raised me, like she would listen, you know, I would listen to a lot of Motley Crue, Aerosmith. I listened to a lot of old school rock and roll, right? Well, she also showed me in like a lot of Ludacris and Eminem. So as I grew up, you know, I looked up to all these rappers, and from Ludacris and Eminem, it just went out from there. You know, I started listening to other artists, and I got into heavy metal a lot also. So you know what I mean? Like, ever since I was young, I've worked on music, you know. And I've always wanted to be a rapper. I always had it in my head that is like, you know, like these kids want to be doctors. They want to be football players. Like I was like, you know, I want to be a musician. So I started working on hip hop, I'd say around 13, 14 years old. You know what I mean?
And when did you actually start like recording stuff?
See, I started recording, around 13, 14.
Just with anything you could find, like a phone or a little like pocket recorder?
That's a funny question, because actually me and he goes by Casper now. I ain't gonna say his real name, you know, I ain't gonna put his name out there, but shouts out to Casper. You know, you can look him up on YouTube. Me and Casper, we were 14 years old, man, in my bedroom at my mom's house, you know, and we had a Rock Band microphone, bro. So I went and got some pantyhose out of my mom's bedroom and wrapped it up around this broken up hanger, you know what I mean? We threw the fucking Rock Band microphone over the fan.
That's fucking awesome.
Tied the pop filter up to it with the wire. Can I cuss in this?
Dude, go ahead.
All right, straight.
Fuck, shit, bitches.
Listen, he's throwing them out. So yeah, we threw this fucking Rock Band microphone up over the ceiling fan, man. And I swear we put out some hits, bro. Like
I heard those songs back in the day.
This is Tanner Purdue checking in.
What are you drinking, Tanner?
Tanner Purdue checking in, drinking a Sprite made by the Coca-Cola Company.
But yeah, man, back in the day, I was 13, 14. We were dropping hits in high school. We had the Newcastle Cross High School bumping our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Tanner was one of them. He could vouch.
I used to listen to those songs back in the day with them. I remember a lot of that, and you know, it was good music, especially
a lot of remixes
for the time, especially how old they were. It showed ambition, and
we was remixing
Devin but Corey as well. They both put their everything into what they were doing, and I think that's where Devin is where he is today, as Corey as well, is because they put so much into the music.
So we got what I used to do is like a lot of remixes. Me and Corey would just take like I remember Bedrock from Lil Wayne, bro. We remixed that and it was hot, dog. Like it was damn near better than Lil Wayne in there. Like I swear to God, we had all the girls in the school loved this shit, you know. And like I ended up dropping out I dropped out in 9th grade, came back to school 10th grade. You know what I mean? But I was just more focused on the music and, you know, a lot of shit I shouldn't have been focused on, but, you know, we can get to that later, so.
I actually dropped out in 10th grade to get my GED. I've been on my own since 2005 and whatnot.
2005?
Yep.
Wow.
Living from friend to friend and whatnot. And I dropped out in 10th grade to get a job at eCoding Plus, but I was slightly too young to work there, so I went to Taco Bell. So I haven't even graduated from 10th. I just got a GED. But they paid me for it, too. $350.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So I kind of know what it's like to kind of quit school and go after what you really want, you know.
Straight
and what I
up,
really wanted and needed was, you know, income and a place to stay.
But I mean, quitting school, man, everybody needs to stay in school because like when I quit school, I was confused. I thought I was gonna be Tony Montana, or I thought I was gonna be, you know, Eminem. Like I didn't. and then life will punch you in the face like quick.
I think for most people, people try to build their house on the second floor before they even have a foundation. So I think it's the mindset. Everybody wants that second floor with the nice TV and all that shit, but nobody really focuses on the foundation like school and whatnot.
Exactly. You
So
know what I'm saying?
if you do drop out, make sure you go to like college or something afterward, like Ivy
that
Tech, and
GED.
then get to like yeah.
That's
Get that
very
GED. That's what you got to get.
But it also depends on what you're gonna go for too. Like
Absolutely.
there's some things that you go to college for, and you're still just gonna fucking work at Wendy's the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So-
saying. Once you get that GED, man, you can focus on businesses. There's a lot of outlets, but you got to believe in yourself. And that's one thing with me. Like, like you asked, when I started the music thing, I started recording when I was 13 years old. I've recorded so many songs that are lost, the here, there. But the thing is, I stuck with it. And I dedicated myself. Like, I put tattoos on my face for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I did a lot. Like, I did a lot of shit that, other people would regret. But I don't regret any of it because it's like I wanted to put my all and all my passion into my craft. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's the same with me when it comes to filmmaking. Filmmaking and anything to do with audio. I find hobbies here and there, but you only get like one or two good passions for something,
Yeah.
and you put everything into it.
Straight up, bro.
So
That's real. That's real for real.
let's talk about your new single coming out, your new video. What's it called?
New video, Say Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Got 11,000 plays on SoundCloud so far and counting. We still counting. I just, I've been on my promoting my marketing shit. I'm getting it there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talking to certain people. I got the right artists reposting my songs, so my fan base is growing. But I got shouts out to Levon Gross. That's my brother. He's in Arizona. Levon, I'm coming for you. When you hear this, you know it. But he flew in for 5 days, man, and we filmed some crazy shit. Like when everybody sees this video, it's gonna shock all my supporters, all my fans, everybody.
What do you think that's ready to drop? Like, when do you think it's coming out?
Man, I can't give you a solid date yet.
Aw.
But I know it'll be like I would say give it a month or two at the most. It's gonna be within the next month or two.
Do you want to give a little bit of detail?
Well, we're gonna get the spring started the right way. We're gonna drop Say Cheese, but the video. What I'll say about the video is, it's gonna be the one that starts this. Cause I've already started this, but to really start my career, really boost me, this video is gonna be the one, and people are gonna see why when I drop this, they're gonna see why I'm saying like it. But for right now, that's all I'm gonna let you know.
Oh damn! All right, fine.
But the shit's hot, you know what I'm saying? Like, and hey, bro, you can ask me anything. Like, I'm an open person. Like, feel free to get down to the nitty gritty for real. Like,
Okay. Well, I don't even know your real name, so.
my real name?
Yeah.
Bro, we put the government out there.
What do you go by day to day when you're not doing your thing?
Day to day. Well, I mean, my mama calls me Devin. You know what I mean? My real name is Devin. I like Dev. I like it when motherfuckers call me Dev. I don't like Devin for some reason. Dev's short. It's nice. But my name's Devin Alexander Carter. And then, I got Kid Trip. That was my first little stage name, back in the rap days. I got that tatted on me right here, right on my arm. Then I switched it, What happened was I started getting locked up a lot. I was in and out of jail when I turned 18. And so I took Kid Trip and thought, like, I'm not a kid anymore, you know what I mean? Like, I'm growing up. Like, I'm turning into an adult. I gotta leave that moniker. So I switched it to Dev Tripper. And when I switched it to Dev Tripper, like, I went through BMI and got my name copywritten, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I register all my songs, all my work under Dev Tripper. So, all you thieving ass artists out there don't be trying to steal my lyrics, I'll sue your ass for that shit. Trust me.
Did you actually grow up here, or did you come from somewhere else?
See, I'm from Cincinnati. I was born in Cincinnati. My mom and dad, my mom and dad always had problems when I was a kid. They split when I was 3 years old. So 3 years old, my mom's parents, my grandparents lived in Newcastle, Indiana. So we came back from Cincinnati. I came back to Newcastle. I grew up here mostly, you know what I mean? I think I lived in, I don't even know, bro. Like, I was everywhere, I think I lived in Indianapolis for a little bit, but that didn't last, So I grew up mostly in Newcastle. And being I don't want to get touch up on the racial stuff too much, but being a biracial kid in a predominantly Caucasian, like, civilization, little town, I did have it rough growing up. I did have to go through some shit with that, you know what I mean? But it definitely turned me into who I am.
A better person, right?
Straight up.
Fuck
A
all the
tough
people.
person, at least, you know.
Fuck everyone that thinks negatively of anyone else, you know.
I feel that.
I was actually kind of bullied for being a little weird. So, I mean, I wore a chicken suit, so
I feel
you know,
you.
I think that'll happen. But I learned to just deal with it, you know, and eventually these people come around and they see who you really are, you know,
Yeah.
even if they're more or less successful than yourself. But
See, the
they'll come
thing
around.
is, we're the ugly ducklings, bro. We're the ugly ducklings. We turn into beautiful swans, bro.
I'm a chicken.
Like, people used to clown me, man, in school. Like, I was shy. I had a little afro. I was chubby, pudgy, you know. I was just a little shy deaf, and people made fun of me. You know, the girls, you know, I couldn't take me seriously, and then the dudes would clown me. They treat me like shit, you know. Like, there was multiple times that, you know, when I was 12, 13, I started getting in fights because people wanted to, you know, say stuff to me that's just disrespectful, you know, that I shouldn't be saying. And I know it's not those kids now at the time, now being 23, you know. I know at the time, those kids were just raised wrong. They were just taught the wrong shit growing up, you know. That wasn't their fault, but, you know, I definitely, you know, it made me who I am to be today, for sure.
Let's see. When was the first time you got locked up?
And
why?
There you go.
the first time I went to jail. So the thing is, a lot of people think like I never did juvenile time, bro. I ain't never been to juvenile. A lot of people think I went to juvie. No, I got a lot of battery charges, and I got like a marijuana charge as a kid, you know. But as a teenager, and they put me on probation, and I would fail piss tests all the time for weed. But my PO, shouts out to her, she was fucking the shit. Never fucking locked me up once. I was just steady smoking weed as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, 3 days after I turned 18, I just got my braces off, feeling good about myself. I got straight teeth. You know what I mean? So I got the golds in right now, but I get locked up 3 days after I turned 18. And what had happened was my buddy, you know, and once again, I ain't gonna say no names, I ain't gonna incriminate nobody, but my buddy had gotten locked up. So I was trying to get him out. I was trying to make some money to get him out of the jail, you know what I'm saying, to bond him out. And they arrested my ass 4 days later. So
Yeah.
I go in there and, you know, I did the first 30 days of jail I ever did. I was with my best friend, and that was a blessing, you know what I mean? But either way it goes, that jail shit is not for nobody. So
I think I ended up bonding them out if it's the same person.
yeah, I
it
think
was an $800 bond.
yeah. Tanner ended up bonding my buddy. So
I
No.
walked right up there.
But-
Being locked up, did that affect your music at all?
bro.
Did it affect the way you went about making
See?
music, or maybe a different mindset?
To be honest with you, a lot of people ask me stuff like that. Being locked up in Henry County, Newcastle's jail, did zero for my music, bro. Nothing. Because the whole atmosphere, like, I've been, you know, I'll touch up on this here in a second. I've been locked up in Newcastle. I've been locked up in Delaware County, you know what I mean? And in Delaware County, that's Muncie, Indiana. Like, it was a lot more cultural. There's a lot more people like me, black people, you know, mixed people, darker people, people of different ethnicities. See, when I was locked up there, I did 30 days. No, I did 90 days up there, but I met a lot of people that did influence my music. I could rap with people, you know, I could show people what I work on and what I do, and they believed in me.
Way to go! No.
Tanner flopping, dropping phones and shit. Get out of here, bro. So, you know, anyway, I did that 90 days in Muncie, man. That influenced my music a lot. Every single time I've been locked up in Henry County, that shit was nothing. It's country
Yeah.
as fuck.
You had nothing, you know, to connect with musically,
Exactly.
or even on a personal level, really.
Exactly. I tell people I'm a rapper, they think I'm a clown. You know what I'm saying? When I tell people that, and this is Henry County Jail. There's people, you know, there's guys walking around with swastikas that, you know, are really cool with me because they know it's all based on respect. But at the same time, you know, they ain't gonna sit and listen to me talk about my rap bullshit. They ain't gonna sit and influence my music. So I have no, you know, complete writer's block when I'm in that jail. No creative thoughts.
Where do you think is the best place for, I don't know, creating music? What is the perfect kind of environment for you to create?
Man, for real, like, best time for me to write is like when I'm looking, honestly, when I'm buying beats nowadays, and I'm just be sitting at the crib buying beats, you know what I'm saying? I'll chill on the couch. I got a few producers that I really fuck with heavy that have been, you know, making all the beats to my music. So I'll just go through their shit, you know, what they've sent me, and listen, and I'll just get vibes, you know, and I'll think about the shit I've been through in my life. I'll think about, you know, the things I'm going through at the time. You know what I mean? I'll put that into my music. Sometimes I'll get goofy with it, you know, and I call out my buddies in my songs and shit that they're doing at the time. But one thing about me, one thing about me being a rapper from Newcastle, Indiana, every single thing I talk about in my music's real. Every single thing down to the T. Like, I don't talk about nothing fake, you know what I'm saying? I've been through it all. People say this, people say that about me, but, you know, in the streets, like, there's a lot of motherfuckers that can vouch. Like, all my music's real, straight up, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see where we're at so far. No, let's keep this going longer. I want to get everything out of you.
I swear, bro. I've been waiting for this one. Interview, you know what I'm saying?
Let's see. What do you think is your most powerful track? Like, the deepest from your soul, you know? Like,
oh, shit.
Like, I guess, like, what music track have you made where it's just, I don't know, the rawest you've ever been?
Okay, so listen. iCloud, iTunes, or no, not iCloud. Oh, look, I got me slipping. So iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, you know. It's not on SoundCloud, but it is on all those others. You can look up this album called Tripper by Dev Tripper. My personal favorite's Apple Music or Spotify. So, you know, you get on there, look up the album Tripper, and I got this song on there. It's called Resurrection. And it's the interlude, you know, it's in the middle of the album. And basically the way I set this album up, I released this album right after I got out of jail about 7 months ago. And you know, the beginning of the album is a lot more dreary music. It's a lot more down. It's a lot more like, you know, it talks about a lot of the shit that I was going through, you know, with depression, with going to jail, with drug addiction, with all that. Now you hit that song Resurrection and it literally breaks down to a T what I would go through with the drug addiction, you know what I mean? Breaks down to a T the shit I went through with that. And it's like, it explains, you know, that, you know, like, a lot of times people tell me to go to rehab. Rehab's for quitters. The reason that I got off the dope, you know what I'm saying, and I ain't going to dwell into what I was doing. I'm not going to glorify that. But, you know, the reason that I decided to become sober is because it was me. Like, I know I decided that. Like, I wanted to have a better life for myself. It wasn't for any other person. It wasn't because somebody was, you know what I mean, I'm in a facility and these people are telling me that, you know, God's the way to go or I need to do this or that to be clean. Nah, it's because I wanted to do it. And that Resurrection song, I think it's number 5 on Tripper. That is the song that will explain all that to you. It will tell you about my life, for real.
Well, what kind of process did you go through to actually be sober? Like, what made you come to the realization that that is you and you don't really need all that bullshit to cloud it?
Well, you see, like, you know, they got all these 12-step programs, bro, and they make all this shit up. Like, I made my own shit up. And my thing is, like, not one person on this earth will ever change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never one day just going to be changed like a different, you know, person. The thing is, I'm always going to be Dev Tripper. I'm always going to be Alexander Carter. Like, but I can better myself. And you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't change. I can better myself. I'm always going to like the shit that I like. I'm always going to like the highs I like. I'm always going to want to get fucked up. But the thing is, I could turn myself into a better person and control that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. It's like I could go a year or two without having to get fucked up, you know what I'm saying? If I want to have a little fun, I might have a little fun. I might have a little drink, smoke some weed, you know, man. Even take a couple pills sometimes. But the thing is, if you could control that and be a functioning person in society, what's the issue? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's my point too. Like, there's a lot of people that actually go to work doing cocaine and bullshit like that, you know? And
that's
as long as they do
we
their
call
job,
that street
you know?
dope. That's street dope.
I kind of don't get why people have drug tests, you know? What people do in their own private time and whatnot. And if it doesn't affect their work at all, why the fuck invade their privacy like that, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
Even if it is something like cocaine, something extreme or a taboo, you know?
For
or
sure.
it's something as little as weed. They're still altering, the, you know, the perception and shit to kind of fit what they're going through or what they want, you know?
I feel you on that. See, I think it's all regulation, man. I think shit should be regulated, but I also think there's certain people with a good head on their shoulders, you know?
Maybe like guidelines, you know, instead of like something to enforce it, to punish you for maybe, I don't know, experimenting. Because alcohol and weed, I don't know, they bring about the same thing. Cigarettes give you a certain high too. I think like anything more like DMT or like cocaine or whatever shouldn't be like tested on. I think like, I think it should be allowed in a certain light, you know?
I think, I agree with you with that, you know, the psychedelics and stuff. I don't think that should be illegal, but I also think, you know,
there should be certain guidelines, you know. when
If
you
I go to
about
the
doing
doctor right now, they're gonna give me some bullshit, some, you know what I mean, some non-narcotics. It's not gonna affect me. It's not gonna help me, or it's gonna twist my brain and just, you know what I mean, make me crazier than I already feel like I am. So if I self-medicate, if I smoke a little weed, you know what I'm saying, if I take a pain pill here and there, if I'm feeling like I'm in pain, you know, if I feel like I'm stressed out and I take a nerve pill, you know, what's wrong with that?
Right.
The law doesn't agree with it, but morally, I feel like I'm all right doing that. You see what I'm saying?
as long as it's like in a good environment. I mean, you wouldn't drink and go driving like an idiot, you know.
Exactly, because that's a DUI. I don't got no DUIs on my record.
I had an unjust one.
He said an unjust one.
Man, yeah, I got pulled over my driveway after smoking a little bit of pot. Whatever consenting adults do in their house is none of your fucking business. Why are you making
Tanner getting strong
why are
on
you
the police.
making a career out of arresting nonviolent criminals? It's pathetic, and you need to get a job.
Tanner Purdue and the police.
Legalize all drugs, and I'm serious. And legalize nonviolent drugs. The only
It's my boy.
law there should be: don't hurt people and don't take their shit.
Exactly, I feel that.
Yeah,
To
I
an
kinda
extent.
agree with that.
To
Yeah,
an
don't
extent.
murder anybody. That's fucked up.
Straight
Don't
up,
take
bro,
their
you know what I'm
stuff.
saying?
At least, you know, the stuff they need. I'm kidding.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm Dev Tripper. I'm the big flipper. I party. I have fun. But I also control myself, and I have a legitimate business, you know? And I'm about my paper. I'm about my money. You see what I'm saying?
As long as it makes you happy too, right?
Yeah,
Do you ever
amen.
feel like at one point in this at all, like you're unhappy at all,
Bro.
or has it always been like this zen or like euphoric kind of feeling?
Another one of my beliefs is that every human on this planet, every single human on this planet, there's not one person that's completely happy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Show me one person that is completely happy. That's not one thing they stress about, or there's not one thing that, you know, they might be a little depressed about at times. Like, the thing is, like, what life is about is making the best out of the worst. You feel me?
Mhm.
And like, that's what I try to do. Yeah, of course. Like, I'm a Cancer. That's my zodiac sign. I cry every day. You know what I'm saying? I get upset all the time, but I make the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to dwell on things. When you dwell on things too long, it'll eat you alive, and then, you know, you're wasting all of your energy on that. Like,
Well, what do you do to not dwell on things? Like, what is the way you, I don't know, kind of ride the waves in a way? Mine would be driving. Like the other day, I went to Kentucky for no reason at all. I drove 270
Really?
miles. Yeah, I went in a ditch at one point.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
yeah,
made
fucked
it
up, like
out, because that would
yeah.
have been terrible.
I went right into a parking lot. But
Oh,
I went down to Rising Sun to have a beer with a friend, and on my way back, I saw a bridge, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's a huge fucking bridge! Is that Kentucky? Holy crap, it's Kentucky! I'm gonna go to a different state." And then I
See,
drove
like-
around for like 5 hours without a GPS or anything, you know.
bro, honestly, like,
I've always wanted to do something like that, just driving until where
Yeah.
it takes me.
For me, that was my way to escape all of my problems at that moment, you know. I didn't have anybody, you know, that knew where the fuck I was. Everybody that I knew was far away, and all of my problems seemed far away, and I could look at it like in a different light. And that's what driving does for me. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, what do you do when you're riding the waves and you're starting to get a little low? What brings you
Yeah.
back up to the even keel,
honestly,
you know?
like, and this is a thing. Like, a lot of people ask me, you know, why you got all these tattoos? Why you wear all this jewelry? Why you do this, that? Those are the things that bring me up. You feel me? Like, when I'm feeling down, like when I'm feeling like shitty, or I feel like the worst, like, and lately, I've been going through it a little bit. I've been going through a lot of bullshit lately, honestly. But that's why I go spend my money on jewelry, so I feel like I look nice. Because if you look good, you feel good, right? And then, I go put tattoos on my face and tattoos on my body, because that's how I express my feelings. I want people to see the pain that I've been through. So when they meet me, instead of being taken back, they can think, look, this dude looks like he's been through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
This one right here that says empty,
Empty.
what does that mean to you?
See, a lot of people ask that, and that's because, like, at one point I felt like I was empty inside, and I still do to an extent. I still feel a little bit empty. And all of us, like I said, all of us on this planet, there's not one person that feels like their heart's completely full. Like, they, you know what I mean? Like, they're completely happy, and, like, I'm always going to feel empty inside until the day I die. But how empty, that can differ, you know what I mean? That can change.
Just depends on that wave, you know.
Exactly.
I'm only going to ask like a few tattoos because you got a lot of them. What does this one mean right here with the flower and
This actually-
some scissors.
This is a shouts out to Sworn In. It's a pretty nice heavy metal band. They're getting big, you know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
And this is actually 2 album covers put together. It's their first album, 13, has the Flower of Death. I think it's on a tarot card or something. But you know that, and then the Scissors. See, the Scissors is on the cover of The Lovers, the Devil, which is their second album, and it's one of my favorite heavy metal bands. Shouts out to Sworn In. You gotta check them out. They're dope.
What's it mean to you?
I mean, it's just I love the music. If you listen to the albums, you would understand why I got a
Okay,
tattoo.
okay.
You feel me?
yeah.
It's just like I love their music so much, and like those 2 albums, like the lyrics, man, are just so deep and like, you know, I feel like you can touch on certain subjects with music that you can't even express with words. You feel me?
Amen.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the type of stuff they do with their music. So
Music's always been like a huge part of my life and whatnot. I've actually been collecting music I've listened to over the years and categorize them in folders and whatnot. And each time I go to one of these folders and hear that music, it brings me back to that time, like 2005 or 2006. A certain song will make me feel that certain way.
yeah,
And it actually, not to get too, heavy into it, but it goes through the same part of your brain that memories go through. And certain Alzheimer's patients, like my grandmother, certain songs bring them back to that feeling. And she actually remembered me before she passed away. She didn't remember my dad. She barely remembered my grandpa or anybody around him.
that's rough.
But I had her listen to that one song when they got married, Red Roses for a Blue Lady. And she remembered that. She remembered how it felt. But it didn't bring back the memories. It brought back how she felt. So on a musical level, I understand.
It's this frequencies,
Man, that's amazing. That's a heartwarming story.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Those frequencies, music emits, that's what people don't think about. Music emits frequencies, and when you emit happy frequencies into your brain, you know, it gives your brain good vibrations. If you emit bad music into your brain, or like, you know, dreary music, that's going to make your, you know, it's going to give your brain negative vibrations. So,
Making music was one of the best things I ever did.
like,
too.
it's inspiring to hear stories like that, you know what I mean? To show, like, what music can really do for people. And that's like what I want to do with my music, you know? I want to help people out with it.
Would you like to hear a story?
Let's check it.
In 2005, when my parents split up, my grandparents brought me back to Richmond and whatnot. And around that time, I had saved up for like a PSP, you know. I had a track on there called Permanent by Acceptance. And that song I actually listened to on repeat until I fell asleep on their couch. And that song always brings me back to that time, right?
Yeah.
Well, about a week ago, I went out to Richmond because they've been passed away for about 2 years now. And I took a look at them in the cemetery, and I took a look at them in the house, you know. It's dilapidated. It's just falling apart and mold everywhere. So I
Damn.
decided to leave that part behind by listening to that song again, you know. And a little backstory. My grandparents would pick me up every 2 weeks to come visit my dad and whatnot, and they would come down this alleyway. Well, when I was listening to that song, I drove away, and I wanted that to be the last time, you know. And I was listening to the song. I went down the alleyway in the opposite direction as it ended, and that was kind of like a coming full circle moment for me.
I feel you on that, bro.
So
You live life very metaphorically, and I like that because I'm the same way, you know what I'm saying? And it
Mhm.
helps me a lot of the times, you know, just those little metaphoric thoughts and things you do, like, helps me get through life. You feel me?
Mhm.
It's-
And
it's
that
real.
definitely helped me let go of a lot of feelings I've had over the last 14 years, a lot of hate and a lot of anger and a lot of, you know, sadness and whatnot about them not being around and not being able to support me anymore. And that helped me move on and grow up as a person, you know.
That's real, bro.
So
Real is rare. Real is valuable, and real is a diamond. That's what I'm saying. That's real as shit.
well, I don't know if I have any more questions, good sir.
Hey,
Besides, what are you doing tonight, sir? You gonna get hammered?
shit, you know what I'm saying? You might see me at the bar, but
You will.
you know, before we end it here, I'm gonna give a shout out to Kari. He's got a new music video on the low. Midwest Patrick's working on that right now.
Yeah.
Go check out Caked Up. Midwest Patrick filmed that. It's on YouTube. You know, Dev Tripper Caked Up. I got what we got. We got King of the Cloud, Alpha Omega X on the way. That's my new album I'm working on. Say Cheese on SoundCloud's got 11,000 views so far. We got the music video to that coming out. Shouts out to Levon Gross for filming it. And I
sir.
think that's all we got. Indie Animals, that's what I'm saying. Thank you to all my Indie Animals and all my fans. Thank you, Nicholas, for having me.
Hey, not a problem. This has been the 2 Pints Radio Show with your host, that Nick guy, with our special guest, Dev Tripper. It was nice to have you, man.
You know it.
It was great.
Fuck yeah. And we got a video over there, too.
You know it.
Well,
Big
that's
flipper.
it. Fuck off.